It's the Texas weather discussion video for Thursday, the 13th of June. I'm Donovan Neal. Today is the last day of below average weather before we return to regular seasonal weather for this time of the year. Mixing sun and clouds, highs in the mid 90s with daily chances of scattered morning to afternoon showers and storms. And we could see some widespread storms in that mix. Let's check things out this afternoon. Let's take a look at our upper air map across the nation. You can see that a very anomalous trough for this time of the year is beginning to lift more to the northeast, and of course with that we have that ridge starting to build out to the west. It's going to finally change us back to our seasonal weather. Take a look at the visible satellite view this afternoon. You can see most of the state is clear. Only got a field of clouds out to the south and southwest, but that's really about it. And temperatures early this morning already trying to peak into the 90s, but we're pretty much staying in the mid 80s, even some low 80s around the metroplex. And right across the nation, much of the nation looking pretty cool for this time of the year, except out in the desert southwest, where they're just getting baked, and they're actually experiencing some record highs for this time of the year, as indicated by some excessive heat warnings for parts of the Phoenix metropolitan area, as long as some red flag warnings as well. But in Texas, we remain pretty quiet. On the convective outlooks, got standard slight risk of severe storms in effect for parts of the Texas Panhandle, also parts of western New Mexico as well. Other severe activity elsewhere. Day 2, it's that slight risk pretty much for the same zone. I'll just shift to the northeast a little bit. And on day 3, standard slight risk again for that same zone right there. Here's the average rainfall for the next 7 days, valid through Thursday morning of next week. Heaviest totals remain out in southern Florida, out in central Florida, and parts of the Arklatex region. And down here, amounts around 2 inches or 2.5 inches or so. Might see some higher amounts locally, but again, next week we go back to our daily chances of morning to afternoon showers and storms. So let's go on to the dailies here. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at 1 o'clock. This is the new GFS. That one became operational yesterday. So we have a trough. So we have that trough beginning to lift to the east, and down here we pretty much stay in a zonal flow. I think we stay dry for the most part tomorrow, but for the days preceding after tomorrow, I think we'll start to see some rain activity begin to increase, as you'll see. I think we'll stay in the low 90s on Friday tomorrow. And here's Saturday. Most of the state stays dry. On Saturday, highs will be in the mid 90s, mix of sun and clouds. Could see a few isolated storms near the Houston area, but that's really about it. And here's Sunday morning. Actually, here's Sunday morning. We could see a little bit of scattered to mainly widespread showers and thunderstorms. Actually, it's early Sunday morning. With highs in the low 90s following in the afternoon. And I think we will mention most of that weather for much of next week. So here's Monday, here's Tuesday, here's Wednesday, and a week from today, Thursday, the 20th of June. Heights where they should be. Got a trough in the north, and down here, that looks pretty much mostly dry for the most part on Thursday, with most of the rain off to the east. I think we'll mention highs in the low 90s continually. And let's go out 10 days. This is Sunday, the 23rd of June. You can see we still have that trough in the north. Ridging starting to build out here in the south. And down here, if I were to verify, most of the rain would stay to the north as a result of that ridge. Let's take a look at the precipitation coming off the European ensemble. You can see most of this week stays dry, but as soon as we hit next week, shows rain up to 3 inches for much of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. And of course, with the numbers for the next 15 days, perfectly illustrates our conditions for pretty much the rest of June. Highs mostly in the low 80s today, low to mid to 80s today, and then we go back to seasonal weather with highs mostly in the upper 80s to low 90s, with lows mostly in the mid 70s for pretty much the rest of this month here. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. I'm going to in a blog. Next video here will be posted at around 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. If you can't catch the local TV stations on the air, at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and Godspeed.